So in today's session, we'll be going through, we will be logging into the GUI and execute some basic transactions there. We will understand what is a client, what is user master record, how to manage user, lock user, unlock user, do the same for multiple users. Plus, we will understand how a parallel processing can be done within a system. But before that, as you can see on my screen, here is a recommendation from my side. If you're someone who is just starting with basic, I would definitely recommend you to go through the SAP Basis training tutorial from Guru 99. This is basically given in very simple language, very easy to understand, one pager thing. Not it will not give you exactly everything about SAP, like all the details, but yeah, this will give you a background kind of thing, so that further when you go into in-depth learning, this will help you understand more clearly about the things. So what you can do is, this is like when I started with Basis, I too went through Guru 99. So this is a pretty old site, and not only Guru 99, not only for SAP. Here you can find all the courses like web development is there, big data, AI, SQL, Power BI, everything. And the good thing is that they don't give you much details. They just give you what is necessary, and then for in-depth tutorials you can go with some other thing. Okay, so now we have already covered about the basics that it covers. Now we will directly jump into the SAP GUI, login there, and then proceed with the basic transaction codes. So stay tuned. So now here, this is SAP GUI. This is basically the logon page here. This is a client. This is a default, not a default client. This is a client that we have created for practicing purpose. This is the client. Here I'll put in my user ID, and here I'll put in the password that was set during my first login. So let's see if it works. Yes, thankfully I remember the password. So now once the system will log in, we'll just try to understand how the user management and security related things are taken care of. Okay, some basic transaction codes. So let's go into the system. I will also give you a glimpse of SCCL, that is a local client copy here, that can also be done with one system. So whatever is possible with this one system, I will try to give you access of this. So stay tuned and just wait for a second until it gets logged in. Meanwhile, what I can do is, let's go up with some interview related questions that are very basic, related to basic basis. So first is, you need to prepare about the user management, user control related things. This is also security related, like creating roles, assigning responsibilities, what profiles are, what parameters are. You can prepare this type of questions. Then what is the purpose of each system? You don't need to go into very much depth, but you need to understand what is NetWeaver. NetWeaver is basically a platform on which the SAP systems run. What is Basis? Basis is basically an like it likes an as an operating system, or an interface where the SAP applications run. Then what is dual stack? What is single stack? What is HANA database? What is data migration? What is upgrade? What is spam transaction? What is sane transaction? What is the difference between each of them? What is sum? What is SWPM? I have also uploaded some of these videos already. Not sure why this is taking such a long time. It should not. It does not actually take that much time. Maybe some network related issue. Apart from this, then if what is a developer trace? What is the difference between developer trace, system trace, and system log? So this kind of questions are also given in the Guru 99 basic interview question thing. So you can always go in from there. Okay, we will just. I'll just come back when the system is logged in. So let's meet on the other side. Once you log into the system, this is the first page that you will see. Now let's start with user creation. Theory we will complete later, but let's see practical thing, and then you can study the basic material from maybe Guru 99 or some other site, or I will be uploading shorts going forward. But since we are into the system, let's do hands-on, and then I will communicate, like discuss about the actually what we are doing here. Okay, while I do, and at the same time I'll tell you that what exactly we are doing. So SU01 is basically a transaction to create transaction code to create a user. Here it is AB. Once you hit, like I'll show you again. This basically icon is for going back. SU01. I have hit enter here. Then let's type any random names. Say Akash. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll try to display this. They're saying that Akash user doesn't exist. So what I can do is I can just create a user here, and here I can give him the name as Akash only. Sorry, here you have to give the title. It's not mandatory. You can leave it. Last name you can give uh, Kejriwal maybe. Please ignore the spelling for now. Your first name is Akash, and the mandatory thing that you have to give here is passport. So here I'm giving a password. This is 126 basically, and I save. Oh, and I save this. The password must contain at least two letters. Okay, so I'm doing it A B C 1 2 3. Again A B C 1 2 3, and now try saying saving it. The password. Okay, A B C in caps 1 2 3 numbers. Again tap A B C in caps 1 2 3 in number, and then now again try to save it, and hopefully. Okay, this is mandatory. No, this is not. You just this will be created as a dialog user. Okay, so here we have too many restrictions for password. Let's be careful this time. So I'm using it capital ABC at the rate 1 2 3, and now try saving it. So this is done. Okay, so we have created a user. Now what we can do is we'll just go back. This is the icon to go back. This transaction code we will execute here again. SU01, I'm doing it again so that you get used to it, and when you create on display here, this will going to display user already exists. Okay, then what I need to do is here you can see a option of delete. I want to delete this user. Delete Akash. Delete user is male user will be also deleted. Yes. Okay, so this you have learned about this user creation, user deletion. Here you have an option of okay. Now let's try logging it with Mika. This is lock unlock. If not locked, this is a state like my ID is not locked, but if I click here, it will be locked. And if I click and if it is already locked, then it can be used to unlock. So this is as simple as that. Now suppose this is a user copy. So if we copy, if you select here, it is going to give you another name. So maybe again I'll keep it as Akash. So what will happen? All the default, all these things will be copied to Akash user. And here I'll create on copy. User Akash is created. Super user with all the authorizations. I'll just create a save. So here I just have to enter the initial password. So again I'll keep it as abc at rate 1 2 3, abc at rate 1 2 3. See here you can see that please enter a initial password. So Akash user is created and the password is created. And again when you see here, you will see that Akash is created. Again we'll go back and delete a user. So this is how user is created, how user is locked, how user is unlocked. And suppose if you have to suppose someone comes back to you that okay I'm not able to log into the system, so please help me with the password reset. Then suppose it's me only, like you can type your Megha, you can just edit, you can just go to the log on thing, you can okay, you can go to the logon thing. You can click on display and change the password here, then save it. since I've not done any changes, that doesn't matter. But once you change that, once you update the password over there, then the once the here you when you click on here you can see a display edit option. Here you will click again and enter the password, and then you will share this password with the user, and the user will log in first with this thing, and then he will have to reset the password. This is the same thing as it happens most of the time when we try to reset the password. We have to log in with one password, and then you have to change it immediately because someone else is aware of. So I hope this is clear. This is about creating single users. One more thing here. Suppose I have to execute another transaction, say SU10. When I type in and click enter, this is working here. But for example, this is because related to user thing only it is running here. But suppose I'm using the transaction SCCL here and hitting enter, it will not execute here because you are actually in the user maintenance window or user maintenance kind of screen, and you need to SCCL is a transaction code that is used to create a local client copy, so it will not execute. So for going out here from here, what you will do it, you will type a backslash n, and then you will type SCCL. So backslash n is basically used to take you back from the existing screen to the entire to the new transaction code. See, you can see here client copy, create a client, and if you simply need to go back from here, backslash n, you are into the main screen. Okay, so here we have done the user creation. You know that the user can be logged, unlocked. If some user comes to you saying that I'm not able to log in, maybe he is locked, maybe his password is expired, maybe he has typed incorrect password, so he's locked. Maybe the user validated thing here, when you create a user, you have a user validated thing also. See, Mika, you have a logon data. Let's click on edit. This all parameters are there, this all rights are there, these are the profiles, these are the groups. I'm just giving you a glimpse of it so that you understand. These are the personalization. Since mine is a master master users, super user kind of thing, so that's the reason it's not happening. Otherwise it will get stuck. Here you will have a date kind of thing, valid to and from. Like, if you can actually give a criteria here that okay, I just want Megha to access the data from 4th February to 10th February. So starting and end date is given there, and if there is no end date, then it will not get logged anytime soon. So yeah, so this is about it. Then let's learn about some basic daily monitoring transaction codes. Okay, you can note this down because this is something that is much asked, and this is the main thing about basis, I guess. You must be aware of. So, first, I'll explain you. First, will SM21 transaction code. This is basically system log details. You can just select this thing, today's date. This is today's date, execute, and these are all the activities that are taking place. Priority, this is a priority. This is the message tagged green, it means this is a warning. This is the type of work process, like dialogue is there, then we have uh, dialogue work process is there, update is there. So this is a type of work process. This is the date. You can see as I have filtered today's date. This is all about today's date. This is all about today's time. This is about the instance like system which we are logged in. So SM22 is basically about the system log. Now we go back. Now let's see uh, ST22. So this is about the ABAP runtime, ABAP dumps kind of thing. So here, if I select today, it will also give me a glimpse of what all the ABAP application was doing, like is doing for today. So this is it. Then SM21 is done, ST22 is done. Then we have SM37, which is used to monitor the background job. Here I'll select remove everything because I've not executed anything recently. So we are giving no filters here. We'll just give a star. Here also will star means everything. Okay, everything on this date. So once you select this, this is executed. So this is something about the background job. So about background job, let me tell you what is a background job. Background job is basically, suppose you are doing any update, or like you can take it as data transfer. Suppose you are moving any data from your computer to maybe drive, but at the same time you also want to do some net surfing. What you'll do is you will let the uh, update take place in another, like in a different tab, and change the tab and start doing your other net surfing things. So this is background job. In case of SAP background job is this, like the work processes, background work process will execute your job in the background without disturbing your normal process. So this is a summary or the kind of background job that is like, just so that like any long running jobs, you know that it will take much time. You can't keep the life system on hold till then. You can't just occupy all the work processes and get stuck and like freeze the system for every other user. So for that reason, we have a background job thing, so that you can schedule the job in the background. It goes on running until it's completed, but obviously you have to monitor that job so that it is not occupying all the resources that you have. If you are encountering any error during the background job, it will get stuck, so you have to monitor the background job. So SM37 is basically the transaction code that is used to monitor the background job. Now, going back, I guess you understood why we have put star here. Star means any job with any of these status executed on this date. Okay? Star means everything, like anything falling within this criteria or this criteria and this criteria. Okay? So, moving back, now we have transaction code. So, this is a workload monitor to identify what is a workload on the system. This is the details, this is the detailed analysis. Load. So these are basically performance database, monitor database. So these are basically all the things that you will understand once you start working on the system. But for theoretical purpose, this is good enough, like to understand how it works and how it is doing. So this is related to, mostly related to application side. Now suppose in this, like in the system, this system is using an Oracle SQL database, not a HANA database. So here, when the database is not HANA, you can also move here from this GUI to the DBA cockpit. DBA cockpit. This will basically take you to the database side of the system. Like you can monitor the space there, you can monitor what is going on, the internal activities. This is a SQL server, as I told you, this is a SQL server, this is the performance. Just don't try to mug up into the things and understand, just you can understand the concept, that how it works and what happens in the background and how do you execute the transaction code. Just start from here and slowly then you can go forward on this. So backslash n. Now there is another transaction code, that's SPAM. This transaction code is basically used to update a support package. Okay, no valid maintenance certificate. Since this is since the system is not the one we have to do, there is some licensing issue here, so that needs to be checked. But for now, you can ignore this because this is going into a too much depth for now. Let's keep it at the above level for the basic understanding. So once this is done, SL. So let me tell you about the SPAM transaction. SPAM transaction is basically used for a support package installation. Similarly, we have SPAINT that is used for not SPNT, it is SAINT. So this is for an additional installation or add-on installation tool. Okay, this is opening here, maybe it takes time. With this, I guess we have covered pretty much of the transaction codes here. I was talking about SU10 while we were working on user management. SU10 transaction code is basically used when you need to create multiple set of users with the same privileges. Uh, like just as we created did a client copy from make heart to Akash. Similarly, su10 can be used to perform this thing, uh, like create multiple users at the same time. I will just show you. We will not try to see here. You can put it on the details. Suppose A, B, C, A, B. I'm not sure if it takes time here. So this is create. So here, if we go back and check logon data, default parameters, roles. So this is the kind of details you need to enter for each user, and it will get created. So this is for mask user basically. Okay, mask user lock, mask user unlock, mask user deletion. So this is the kind of thing that you SU10 for multiple user management. Then there is a transaction code PCFG. PFCG, sorry, PFCG. So this is basically used for creating role. Now, what is a role is, for example, you are a manager and your role is managing the team. Just consider role as a transaction code, and um, sorry, just consider manager as a role, and inside that role you have to give certain transaction codes. Like here, consider the transaction code to be managing a team. So role basically decides what a person with that role can do. Just as I have a manager, he will manage the team, he will take care of the appraisals. So if I'm an associate, I cannot take over the manager and take care of appraisals or maybe manage a team, because it's not assigned to me, it's assigned to my manager. So I'm not sure if that is pretty much understandable, but yeah, this is the whole concept about role management. So what we'll do is we'll create a role here. They'll always start with either Z or Y. Just you can see Z practice, role for practice is single role, composite role. What are the transactions? SAP Z practice, composite role I'm creating here. Will not create much of here because this is a live system. So let's not mess with it. Uh, Personalization. You must save the role first. Okay, let's save it. We'll delete it later. This is description. These are the roles. What I will just, if I click here, it will give me the kind of uh, list that it has. For example, I'm putting SAP here. It will give me a kind of SAP is not a role, maybe SAP underscore, or maybe you can type in the role details here. Role name, we can type it a role, single role, multiple role name here, and then click on save. Since I'm not adding here, it will not get saved automatically, obviously, but I can select from here. Suppose these two roles I'm selecting, and then I'll click on this roles are added. Like this, the person with this role can access this transaction codes or this activity. So this is the whole scenario. Once I do this, I have to save this, then I have to activate. Let's try saving this. Okay, then we have to go to menu, then role menu, user. Here I have to add the user. For example, I'm doing it Mega here. Then personalization. Here you will do user comparison. Yes, user comparison is done. Now only menu thing is right. So you have to take care of these things like sequence wise. I'm not messing with it since it's already a live system, but I'll understand that the concept here basically is creating role and assigning it to a user. For example, just I have just let's go back to SU01. Edit here, click on edit here. See, you can see here roles. This is that practice is the role that I have assigned to myself. So this is the same role that was created there. That's the reason it was not getting created. So this type of things are basically understandable once you start working on the system. So so basically these are the main transaction codes that we are doing here. Then apart from this, There is one more thing that I'll show you. This is STMS. STMS is basically a transport management system standard transaction code. Now, what is transport management is, for example, uh, uh, your I hope you must be aware that SAP works in landscape. Like SAP doesn't have a single production system. It consists of development, then quality, then production system. The first, all the things, including implementation changes, everything is done using the development system. Then those changes are moved to quality system, and then once the testing is done in quality system, it is accessible to the users through the production system. So how this changes is are moving, they are moving through transport management system. So STMS is basically the transport management system here. This is already a TMS is configured here, so I can't do much, but I can explain you here. This is the import view. Like if say this is a quality system, then and if anything is pending in the import, I can click here and uh, I can click here and add on it, like execute it to accept the input. Then here, this is the basically the systems that are added here. No system is added in the TMS. We have only one system as of now. But suppose I'm going here and I want to, this is refresh option. If I want to this check here the details of the system, this is done by the DDIC user. Last change was done. So these are the things I can check here. Let's go back. Then let's go back again. Here we have a transport route. Let's see how many systems are configured here in the transport route. Like how many systems are added. There is only a single system added here. So that because the transport management system is not configured, but when you do it like this, may be considered as a development system. What you will do is with an STMS, you will configure STMS in all the three systems and add in here. How this will be done, we'll do it later when we have another system available. But for now, this is it. Like this is STMS, like overall picture of STMS. The same transactions you will execute in both the development and quality system, and then add it with the master system. So you can go with the theory part in the Guru 99 thing, obviously. And then you can come back and watch this video, and maybe if I get access to another practice system, I can share that as well. Also, as I told you that we can create a rule using PFCG transaction code, here it is also a shortcut, the same thing. This can be done here as well. So we'll stop for now since the video has been too long for now. And let's meet up in next video.